possibly approve minutes of the January 12th, 2023 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second it. Discussion? It looked pretty straightforward to me.
I didn't see any problems.
Okay, call for a vote.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Gantier.
Yes.
Okay, next thing, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding hiring Retirement LLC as a third-party administrator for the city's money purchase plan and the 457 plan. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
And second. So discussion, okay? Who would like to start in and explain what we're doing here? Lisa, you want to go?
Yeah, this is Wes and Stacy. The city employees have, the non-union ones have retirement through principal.
Okay.
And Wes is our broker and.
Could you step closer to the mic? Thank you. That was-
Wes is our broker for principal, and we also need a third-party administrator. We have a company now, but we're proposing that we change to Stacy's Retirement LLC.
Okay, all right.
To replace Beasley. And they can tell you a little bit about what they do.
Before you step away, what's the principal reason for recommending the change?
More efficient communication, customer service, and a better cost to
Okay,
the city.
thank you. Thank you. Okay.
All right, good evening. Like I said, my name is Wes Sires. I'm the investment advisor on the 457 and the money purchase plan
Okay.
for you guys. I work with John Hawkins. That's how I got connected with you guys. Part of my job is to evaluate the plan on a yearly basis and make sure that, kind of what Lisa was saying, that we're doing best cost-wise, but also service-wise. We had some, would challenges be a good word to use? Okay, we had some challenges with our current TPA, one that I've never worked with personally. John worked with quite a bit a long time ago, and that relationship has just been static since then. I've worked with Stacy for a while, a minute. It's been a long time,
Okay.
and when I sell a plan or when I start a plan for somebody, she's my first phone call. Stacy's the third-party administrator. She works for Retirement LLC, and they're the ones that really kind of keep us in line, make
Right.
sure that we do everything that we need to be doing. In fact, the reason, really the catalyst for this evaluation was the plan document did not get changed from our current third-party administrator for an eligibility requirement. So we went from 21 to 18, is that right?
Yes.
We went from 21 to 18 as far as the minimum age. That never got communicated from the TPA to who I work for, principal, who actually manages the investments. So when we tried to add an employee, they were obviously not showing up as eligible. That's a pretty major error.
Yes.
And there's been some other things that have happened from Beasley. Beasley's our current TPA, that really kind of necessitates a evaluation of their business and how it can best benefit everybody else.
Okay.
And that's why I brought Stacy here. So Stacy's going to explain a little bit about the fee difference between Beasley and her, and maybe a little bit different the setup from Beasley and how it's just going to should be, in my experience, a whole lot more efficient to
Okay.
go with that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. So in this process, one of the things we do as a due diligence is we make certain that the plan is satisfying the needs of the organization. And so when I was asked to come and speak to it, one thing that I brought to the table was the fact that we're a CFEC certified third-party administrator. That's a Center for Fiduciary Excellence. There's a lot of oversight on our financial advisors, but there's not a lot of oversight on TPA. So we open our doors up annually to that audit. Really a check mark in the due diligence box for you and for my advisory teams. Then we went to look at the expenses and where we had been and where we are, and we were able to land in a space that saves some money. Yet we really feel there's going to be some efficiencies and there's going to be some additional communication. We're going to have somebody assigned to your plan who's going to be focused and a one point of contact. So it's going to streamline those communications. So the process began from them communicating about problems. I've worked with Wes and I've worked with John Hawkins for years, and just bringing my firm in. My firm is based in Oklahoma City. We do have administrators coast to coast, just because we try to employ good administrators. It's like having a seamstress, right? They're hard to come by anymore. So we employ people coast to coast, and really our role is just to make certain this plan is satisfying the needs of you and your participants.
Okay,
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Lisa, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Who,
Okay.
who would be the one that explain these briefly? Sure, please.
Sure.
Thank you very much. So what we do, in our industry, we have things that are called revenue share. And so my firm has set fees. So we have document fees, which we have waived for your group. We waived the plan document fee. We have annual fees and we have per participant fees. But when we partner with our record-keeping platforms, they do offer some what we call TPA revenue. So we really believe in fee transparency. So what you're seeing here is any revenue we're going to receive from the record-keeping platform, we're going to use to offset your bill. So that's what this illustration shows you. It shows you what our annual fees are, and then revenue that we expect to receive, and how we're going to offset that. And we have two different plans. So we've got the 403B, which is the smaller plan of the two, and then the money purchase plan. So they're, although you probably think of them as one, they're really two separate plans.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Perfect, thank you.
You have any further questions?
And this is something you're comfortable with? Okay.
We like to take our subject matter experts and make sure that that's the direction that we need to go. They do it every day, so.
Yeah, we had several conversations last year, and, like I said, that really was the catalyst to try to see, it wasn't efficient, and I'm trying to be nice on it, we weren't getting very timely communication, even after, I'm a cattle prod when it comes to all this.
That's good.
Yeah, and most of the times, if I need to step in and have to be a cattle prod, we get answered pretty darn quick. We weren't, even at that point, I was calling, leaving multiple messages, sending multiple emails, and it would take a week just to get a simple answer, so.
And if you were hiring somebody that was under 21 years of age and they had the ability to get into the program and they didn't get to get into the program, well, that cuts the end of the retirement when it cuts into it.
Yeah, and frankly, so you guys are the fiduciary, you guys hold the fiduciary responsibility for the city plans. And if those changes don't get made when they're voted on, when they're passed and everything, those changes don't get made, you guys as a council can be held liable for that. And so that's where we work with Stacy. I mean, we have a dedicated person. I don't know who exactly is gonna take over this one, but there's a group of about 5 of them that Lucinda and Angela are two that I work with very closely on other plans. We got a problem with it, I pick up the phone, I call Lucinda, say, hey, we have an issue with this, can we get something done? And, if she doesn't answer, I get a phone call back within, an hour.
Well, that's
So
great.
Okay.
It's, my relationship with her and her team, I really think is probably the biggest benefit to it. If it was cost equal, or it was completely cost neutral, didn't save us a dime, didn't cost a dime more, I think that part of the value that it brings to it, and that Lisa can call me or can call Stacy or Lucinda, whoever it ends up being on the account, I think that kind of peace of mind where, we dealt with the eligibility thing for what, 6 weeks?
At least.
At least?
Okay,
And
that's
that was one thing.
And that was one thing.
that's not acceptable.
No,
Absolutely.
No.
I do need a point of clarification, and I don't think you would be the one that would answer this question.
Okay.
Are we recommending this particular one to be immediate, or is that for when we go to at the July?
When we go into the next fiscal year.
This would be, we would start paperwork as soon as council approves it. to
Okay.
do the change now.
Okay.
Because it will probably be a process, to get it going, but
Okay.
we want
So we're wanting to recommend the change be immediate as
Okay.
soon as possible.
It's about a 45 to 60-day process to get the paperwork transferred over and the record keeper changed.
Sure. I'm
So
sure
I
we'll
will,
do.
I guess I need to amend my motion that we do this.
Well, I
Now?
think that'll come out on the agenda
Yeah,
for
we
the
can put
council
that on the
meeting.
council agenda.
I'm just talking about our recommendation that we recommend that we do this now. Is that needed or necessary?
Not really, it's not really
I-
necessary, this will go to council and we'll take action on it, and then it will be immediate.
Okay, all
I
right.
think that'll happen during.
That's, I just want to
that
make sure we're
process.
just
Mhm.
doing the right steps. So,
Any
okay,
other discussion?
No.
Let's call for a vote.
Gantier,
yes,
Shropshire,
Yes. Okay. Discuss, possibly recommend council action pending budget and personnel committee approval to pay OMAG for 2 property insurance invoices totaling $6,195 for additional premium regarding the emergency center library expansion building project and contents, and expensing the transaction from general insurance property account number 02-201-5045. Motion, call for a motion.
motion.
Motion second, call for discussion.
When I looked at it, this is what we talked about was gonna come. I don't see anything of any significance of being different from what we had talked about.
And we moved into occupancy, so once we
Yeah.
moved into occupancy, it has to happen. And we have to protect what we have and the equipment that's in it. Okay, any further discussion? All right, call for a vote.
Shropshire,
Yes?
Gantier,
Yes,
Okay. Schedule the next meeting. We're not gonna have to schedule one
we
until.
do have some stuff that's coming up, but we may need to look at the calendar.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out when it is, so we can't really schedule a date now, so that's a pending. So, we need a motion to adjourn.
motion,
Motion seconded, call for a vote?
Gantier,
yes.
Shropshire.
Yes, okay, we have, let's say we have 2 or 3 things that we have to get back